Hello, I'm Steven Santana. This is a special episode of Talking to the Void, my week daily video thing that I haven't actually done for quite some time. I apologize for that. I'm going to try to get back into doing it every day. Hopefully every night it'll go up before midnight. For some reason my internet gets cut off at midnight for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, some new changes. I got an iPhone, not really an iPhone though, because my number isn't on it yet. I actually have to do that soon. But I did go to San Francisco, which is what I'm going to be talking about for this episode at least. And then there'll be another one separately that will talk about video game, the usual stuff that I enjoy talking about. But yeah, I went to San Francisco for the weekend. I left on very late Thursday night, about 12:30 a.m. It was a little bit delayed, supposed to leave at midnight exactly, but one of my friends who was accompanying me on this trip, he got there a little bit late, so it kind of delayed us. But anyway, we were able to leave at about 12:30 from Las Vegas, and we were driving there using my other friend's car. So we drove there. It was pretty fine. I kind of slept for most of it, and then I took over when we encountered fog in Bakersfield. So my associate, she drove for quite some time, and then we encountered fog in Bakersfield. She drove for a little bit more, got afraid, so then we stopped and kind of napped for a bit until about 6 a.m. Then I took over for driving and drove all the way from a little bit past Bakersfield up to Oakland and then into San Francisco proper. So we crossed the Bay Bridge from Oakland to get into San Francisco, the south of Market-ish area around there. The hostel that we were staying at was like 2 blocks down from Union Square, so it was pretty close to a lot of the different places that I wanted to visit, which was great. It was also really close to this easy parking, I think it was called, that was supposed to be kind of not expensive, but then it ended up being like $54 for me to park my car for 2 days, so that was whatever. Anyway, yeah, so we crossed the Bay Bridge. The first thing we did was we went to Dottie's Breakfast Cafe, which was right off of Market and Kearny, maybe? I forget. I don't remember because it was closed. So we ended up going to Home Skillet instead, which was off of Market and 4th or something. It was a few blocks away, but it was a really good, breakfast place. I had a breakfast sandwich with some bacon and cheese and, that type of stuff and some coffee. From there, we walked down to 2nd Street, and from 2nd Street, we walked all the way down to the IGN offices. And there, I actually was able to meet up with Fran Mirabella of IGN, who's been there for years. And he basically gave me a personal tour of IGN itself. And so I had been there for Beyond 300, but I hadn't been able to go into the offices and get like this good look at all the different areas that they work at and the different ways that the departments are split with the video processing and the website building type people on the one side, and then the editorial people, and then the video people, and all that type of stuff. I got to see all the sets that they use for Up at Noon, for the Daily Fix, for the conversations, for the live streams, for the podcasts, for the VO, all that type of stuff, and it was awesome. I loved it. I got to meet Max and Brian. I got to talk with Brian for a bit, and then I took a picture with both of them, and it was really funny because Max held a skull and he gave me the Jack Daniels that was just sitting on the desk. It was really funny. And I got to meet Steve Butts and Tal Blevins and Justin Davis, and Damon wasn't there unfortunately, but I did take a picture at his desk with one of his mugs that he has. And then also Ryan McCaffrey was doing a news video with us in the background, so I'm not quite sure if me and Fran are in the background of that picture of him taking a picture of me at Damon's desk, but that would be funny if I was. And yeah, so that was kind of the highlight. I kind of peaked a bit early with the vacation with that. But after that, we went to 21st Amendment, which is right down the street from IGN. I had one vodka soda there, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just one. I had one vodka soda there. From there, we went back to the hostel, actually. The hostel was actually not that bad. It was just a 4-bed economy dorm on the 3rd floor. And we shared it with some German dude who was apparently from Frankfurt, Germany. He was pretty cool. He was fine. My 2 friends were idiots and walked in drunk at 2 a.m. and woke him up and stuff. So, but he actually handled it pretty well, and I was just angry at them anyway. So yeah, from there we went to Japantown for sushi. We went to this great sushi ramen place that was kind of I don't think I looked it up previously. I'm pretty sure I didn't. The only sushi place that I had looked up was Ariake Sushi, which I did get to go to, which was one of Max's recommendations, Max Scoville. And so we went to Japantown, we walked around, we went to this one Japanese like merchandise retail store, kind of like the anime Japan stuff that you see here. It had only 2 Evangelion stuff, but it was 2 bags, and I already have a Coach bag, which I like, so I didn't really need it, and they were like $35 anyway. They didn't have any other Evangelion merchandise except for the videos themselves, which they also had Amiibo Records, which I visited later on. That was really cool. Then we went to Soda Popinski's, which was really crowded. It's very small, very thin type of hallway with the bar like almost right down the middle, so it's kind of very tight spaced, especially with a lot of people there, as it was on a Friday night. But it was really cool. They had the NES and SNES and N64 in the back, and people were playing Street Fighter 2 off of the SNES. From there we went to Rick House, which was a lot more spacious, much nicer, more breathing room for you to enjoy the space of not having a human being just bumping up against you and their heat is making you hot, and it's just like, but that was a really cool place. I had, another like vodka soda or something there. I had an old fashioned at the Soda Popinski's. And so then from there we just went back home and went to bed. And then early Saturday morning I woke up and went out and had breakfast, and then the other 2 were late getting up and stuff, and then from there we brought the car, went to the Sutro Baths, which is really cool. It's basically on the upper west side, like the ocean area pretty much. I mean, it's right against the ocean, and it's just like these abandoned bath, like cement buildings almost. I didn't look up any pictures of what it looked like when it was actually in use. I don't know if there are any pictures of when it was in use, but it was really cool. There was just like a bunch of like cement stuff that I could climb up on and run around and do my usual exploration type stuff that I like to do, where I'm a ball of energy and I just like to jump around stuff. So it was really cool to do that. And there was like this cave you could go into, and then on top of it there was this cliff face, and then at the top of that was like these forests, and there was like a small forest path that I took, and then from there we left. Then they dropped me off at 6 and Geary Street, and from there I just walked to Green Apple Bookstore. From there I bought Beautiful You from Chuck Palahniuk, and I read that actually during the drive back, and I finished it because it was really good. I really liked it. A lot of people, I've been reading reviews recently actually, and people don't exactly like it as much. I don't know, I thought it was good. I might write a review or something on my Tumblr. But anyway, I also bought Lemony Snicket's newest book because I love Lemony Snicket. I have to buy his stuff. So I haven't finished that yet. I started it, I only read like 2 pages, I think, and then I was like, I just want to sleep. So other than that, after that, I went to Ariake for sushi, which was Max's recommendation. It was really good. From there, I walked to Golden Gate Park. Then I went to Hate and Amiibo Records, and from there I went to the Whole Foods bathroom, because Amiibo doesn't have a bathroom. At least they don't have a public bathroom for whatever reason, probably because it would be disgusting with all the people that they have walk in there. So the Whole Foods went to the back, and I had to wait in like this line that was super long, because it's like the only decent bathroom in the local area there. From there I walked to Wing Wings, before Wing Wings I walked through a bit of Buena Vista Park, and then from there I found Wing Wings, went there, ate some wings there, and then from there I went to Toronado Bar, which Fran recommended to me over Twitter when he found out that I was in the area. From Toronado Bar I just got whatever the barkeep liked, because they didn't serve hard liquor, which is what I usually drink. They only serve beer, which is I'm not a big beer person. But the one that they gave me was actually pretty good. It reminded me a bit of the Rattlesnake from the Boulder Dam Brewery. But anyway, after that I went all the way down to Blackbird, but before I went to Blackbird there was a house fire like 3 or 4 blocks south of that, so I kind of went down there to join the crowd and look at this fire, and then from there I just left and went to Blackbird. And Blackbird has a $15 minimum, and so the vodka soda was only $6, so I had to buy 3 of those in order to, I guess, not incur a fine or a fee or, I don't know, something. So yeah, I was kind of gone after the second one, and then I quickly chugged the third, and from there I started making my way home, and it was only like 6, 7 o'clock. It was like an hour after sunset or so. And so as I'm walking home, I am done. I am gone. I drank too much, and I didn't throw up though, so that was nice. But I took a lot of pictures, like weird pictures. If the iPhone hadn't died, I would have probably taken a lot more, but I have some on my dumb regular phone, which aren't that good to look at. But I went to the Muni station. I just decided I was going to go to the Muni station. I took some selfies, and then I took some pictures of the train for some reason, and then I left. And then I went to Burger King and I bought fries because I had to have something to eat for whatever reason. And as I'm doing this, I'm also tweeting, and I'm